Welcome to graphing from a table of values. So let's take a look at this question over here. So we're given these points right over here. Okay, so here's the format of a point, x, y. Okay, so what this means is this first point will be -2, 0. The second point will be -1, 1. This point will be 0, 2. This point will be 1, 3, and this point will be 2, 4. Okay, this is just a little bit messy. I'm going to erase that. Okay, so what this means is, okay, so since this is your x, the horizontal axis is your x, and then the vertical axis is your y, right? So if we were to plot this point right here, -2, 0, then we want x to equal -2 and y to equal 0. So this is where x equals -2. Okay, this is x equals -2. This is y equals 0. So then the point here is, let me just show you a bit more clear. This is the point. Okay, so look, the x value is -2 and the y value is 0 for that point. Okay, so let's take a look at the next point. -1, 1. Okay, so we're going to go to -1 for the x value, and then we're going to look at 1 for the y value, and this is where it crosses. So that's our point. Okay, let's look at the next point. 0, 2. Okay, so this is x equals 0 is right here. This is 0, and we want 2. Our y value is 2. Okay, so this is where the point is. Okay. Okay, let's take a look at the next point. That's 1, 3. So x equals 1 over here, and then y equals 3. Let me just make a dotted line here. Y equals 3 here, so it crosses right over here. Okay, let's look at the next point. 2, 4. So x equals 2 over here, and y equals 4 over here, because we're looking at x then y. So crosses paths right here. So if we were to draw a line after we have these 5 points, we would take this, we would want it to go all the way through on both sides. Okay, we want it to pass all of those points. Okay, and so that's our line. Okay, let's look at the next question. -3, -6, -2, -4, -1, -2, 0, 0, 1, 2. So it's good practice to write these out as points, like this, -3, -6. So remember, we're looking at x, then y. Okay, this becomes -2 and -4. This becomes -1 and -2. This becomes 0, 0. And this becomes 1, 2. Okay, so, oops, that's a bit dirty. Let me just clean that up. Okay, so let's take a look at this first one over here, the -3, -6. So we're going to go to where x equals -3, which is right here. We're going to look at where y equals -6, which is right here. And so it crosses paths right here at this point. Okay, let's look at this one, -2, -4. So we're going to go at x equals -2, and look at where y equals -4, and where they cross paths is right here. Okay, so next point is -1, -2. So let's go to x equals -1 over here, and y equals -2 over here. It crosses paths at this point, and then 0, 0 is just right in the middle. And then 1, 2, x equals 1 over here, y equals 2 over here. So it crossed paths right here. And if we were to make a line now, we would go to cross all of these points, and then extend it on both sides. Okay, like that. That's how we would graph this table of values. Okay, here's the last one. This becomes, okay, first it's x and y. This becomes x equals -6, y equals 6. This is -4 and 4. This is -2 and 2. This is 0, 0. This is 2, negative 2. Okay, so let's look at this first point over here. So negative 6 and 6, so this is where x equals negative 6. This is where y equals 6. So this crosses paths at this point over here. Okay, let's look at this next one over here, negative 4, 4. So we're going to look at where x equals negative 4, which is right here. Y equals 4 right over here. It crosses paths right here. Okay, let's look at negative 2, 2. So x equals negative 2 right here. Y equals 2 over here. Crosses paths on this point over here. Let's look where it's 0, 0, and 0, 0 is really easy because this is where x equals 0 right here and y equals 0 here, so then you just draw a point here. Let me just erase that. And next one is 2, negative 2, so we're going to go where x equals 2. Going to look at where y equals negative 2. Crosses paths right here. Then, of course, we're going to draw our line to match up all of these points. Like that. And like that. Okay, that's not really that's not perfect, but you could probably do better when you're drawing it, okay? And that's graphing from table of values.